What up, world? You tuned in, South Arkansas Trill Talk. Who messing with me today? Shit, got my homie coming on. Man, we'll touch on, man, what's going on in the world for a minute. Shit, I know everybody looked at the Super Bowl and all that halftime. I'll be checking out comments all over, man, what y'all think out there. Shit, we'll talk about that later on. Shit, check me on YouTube out there. I'll be on later on tonight. You know what I'm saying? Going over basically Bible study, you know what I'm saying, for the week out there. Like, you know what I'm saying, you want to get some info, you want to get you some brain food out there, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up, man. Shit, friendly conversation out there. We build, we don't break down. Like I tell people out there, it's all about elevating over time. Share what you do with your mind. Like I used to always say, man, mind turn everything waste out there. Like I keep telling people, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing no matter what you're doing. Make sure you put God first out there. That's where we at with it, man. And like I be touching on, man, also everything that's going on, man. Happy Valentine's Day out there to everybody out there that's in love. You know what I'm saying? Real love out there. Like I say, man, keeping God first with that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you say I do, whatever, keep God first with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Much love to everybody that be tuning in week after week, man. I just give you brain food. You can check me out Instagram, TikTok, you know what I'm saying, Facebook, you know what I'm saying. Catch me on YouTube, man. Catch up on old interviews. Like I say, man, we coming down with new interviews out there. You know what I'm saying? I salute everybody, you know what I'm saying, that be tuned in out there. But like I say, man, Super Bowl out there, a lot of people was looking at what was being done and what was the message behind it. You know what I'm saying? If you was looking at the show, you missed the message out there. You know what I'm saying? That was on you out there. You should have been paying attention what's going on in America for real out there. That's what I got out the Super Bowl out there. A lot of people had their own perceptions. Like I told people with the camera tricks, what people that was live seeing and what people seeing on TV, you know what I'm saying? Same thing to me. It's just how you know what I'm saying, look at everything that's going on in the world today. And like I say, man, the power structure that's going on right now, what y'all think of that, you know what I'm saying? And like I tell people all the time, you know what I'm saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything out there. Like I say, true enough with what's going on out there, man. I'm gonna get people in here, man. I think I'm gonna bring my peeps on first, then I'm gonna add on my peeps. You know, talk about everything that's going on out there. You know what I'm saying? Basically, in the world out there. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get more people in here involved. You know what I'm saying? What's up, babe?
What's good with it?
Not much. You good?
Yes, sir. Doing pretty good.
Man, I was just going over the Super Bowl out there. I was telling people, did they see the message or they thought it was some bull, you know, or some. I feel like it was a good performance for the Super Bowl out there, something different anyway. You know what I'm saying? But what you think of it, man? You liked it?
To be honest with you, fella, I didn't even see it. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. I seen a few things on Facebook, especially with the Lil Wayne situation and and the little performance that he did lately. Before it's the Super Bowl and the subliminal messages, bro, I really don't let it move me. You know what I'm saying? The world gonna be the world. At the end of the day, I don't want to get caught up and lose my focus on what's going on within the world. You know, I keep my peace, focusing on one thing only.
I feel you, man. Yeah, I've been checking out, man. I just been staring at the masses out there, seeing what's been going on. They've been killing the internet with it. You gonna see the good and the bad and the ugly.
So, what's
So I just,
your perception of what you saw? You know, like you said, they had a lot of subliminal messages in it, and truth be told, most movies do. You know, all authors have some type of agenda that they're trying to get out. So what do you think the agenda was for the Super Bowl message?
It really based upon the president. I'm looking at it like it had to be some political that's going on at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Too many people in the building. Then it was all this going on in the world. I feel like why take the Super Bowl for Trump to come down there now? You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it. Like, man, look what else going on in New Orleans at the time. Dude running over the people out there. They ain't said nothing else about that. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Nobody has said anything about it. It's like it never happened. But then
You know?
remember how we talked about New Orleans, we talked about the creed of New Orleans too. You know, that ain't gonna stop the creed that's there. You know, New Orleans considered Sin City, concrete jungle. So at the end of the day, it's people that don't even know that happened that was there the next day after. You know, coming from all parts of the world. So they come to have festivities. You know, so I don't think it really stopped anything. Um, of course, um, I take it real serious. I take it real serious, but that was the point. All terrorism is to stop the regular flow of things, to put something on people's mind, to put a sense of fear into people, and it just didn't work there in New Orleans. That's all.
Yeah. What do you consider? We gonna go here first. What do you consider with the do you agree with the gender change from uh just two genders out there, woman and man out there, or do you think the world should be what it is now, based upon they here to stay? Ain't no need to change it now. What what you think about the gender change? Just the woman and man.
That's that, that's the law of the land. You know what I'm saying? But people, I mean, there's been laws since the beginning. People still break them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna be who they are. It's just the matter of, with everything else, are you gonna play by the rules of the land? You know, if if 1 minute it's not law, then the next minute it is law. You know, but morally, where do your morals stand? You know, where are your ethics at the end of the day? Just because it's 1 minute it ain't law, it's a good thing. Now that it is law, now it's a bad thing. You know, just like marijuana, just like alcohol, just like all these things. Who determines, from a world standpoint or a civil standpoint, what is right and what is wrong? From a civil standpoint, because that's, I mean, it's based on the individual. You know what I'm saying? The biggest question is, what is Trump's agenda for is making it man and woman? You know, what's going to happen now that first things were put in a certain motion to allow people to have a certain liberty, and now you take that right or that liberty away from them. Um, how is that going to affect the world in whole? Because it's not a nation thing. It's a world thing. So how is that going to affect us moving forward in the U.S.?
Hey, what do you think about we'll go in with that, uh, like moving forward with faith with that? How do you think the government shutting down funds due to a lot of churches they funded by the government out there, and they out there they shutting down funds for everything, knowing that the church is funded by the government too? Do you think that plays in people's faith of going to church? Even the church out there. It's funded by the government. What do you think about that part of faith and people going to church and the church ran by the government?
Do you really think the church is ran by the government?
I'm saying, don't they get like funds? Like, do they get government funds from the government out there
They
to, to
can,
run their organization sometime?
just like it's a charity. It's a nonprofit. So the church, I mean, even though they say the church is a business, there are some churches that is considered business. When you get into the political side of it, when you get into government funding, it becomes business. That's why
Yeah.
church and state don't supposed to mix. But some churches, some pastors, some ministers get caught up in that part of the funding to where now the government has say so within the church. The government has sets the guidelines of the church. Just like for COVID, a lot of churches shut down. The government don't even supposed church and state don't supposed to mix. So how can the government shut down the church? And they had a lot of churches
Yeah.
shut down. If anything should have been standing, it should have been the church because it's
Yeah.
based on faith. So we shut down because the government say so. Probably because you dependent on the government. So there are churches that get funded by the government, but that as I said, that's grant. That's not necessarily all churches that are funded by state or legislature or on the federal side of things. But if that's what you solely depend on, you trap yourself. You know, we should be dependent on the community and the members thereof. You know, we support ourselves as a church body. That's the way it was intended to be. And when we get away from the foundation, it tends to fall. That's with anything. If you don't have the right foundation, eventually it will fall.
Yeah.
So if you're out the right way and you dependent on government when it says government is, well, state and religion doesn't mix, you already set yourself up for failure. You're going by the law of the land.
Yeah. I see that. I think we was last time before we got up out of here. I had brought up the Paul and the Jesus. I think that's where we was at. Who was doing what's the difference in them from the Old Testament, New Testament? I think he was telling me something like Jesus. A lot of talking in the Bible was more Jesus. I think you were breaking it down. We'll go from there. What you were saying with the Jesus and the how you separated with the Paul talking in the Bible and Jesus talking, because I think it's people get that mixed up a lot.
Well, most of the New Testament is actually written by Paul. Only the first 4 books actually really talks about Jesus' teaching, the disciples' walk with Christ, Jesus' upbringing. Then after those 4 books, then we getting into basically the Acts of Paul, like Paul's story. The rest of the Bible goes into Paul's story, him being imprisoned, his the letters that he wrote to all the churches and things of that sort. So the rest of the Bible are basically letters when we get into once we get past Acts, which is the 5th book. You know, your Romans, your Corinthians, your Ephesians, all of those are letters that was written to different parts and different territories where they had churches founded. And Paul in his ministry, the rapport that he had amongst the people after Jesus, they still had a reverence or a respect for him to where he could write a letter from prison and people would still follow.
You think with the new teaching today, with what do you think? I think you were saying somebody he carry out mostly like the, the screwed up. A lot of people be thinking that when Jesus teachings out there, you said I think you were telling me something about when he was like more the person that came out to see to fulfill what Jesus was saying and what he was trying to teach us, because people be getting mixed up by the scriptures sometimes out there. And I think we went with the church and actions with it. What's Paul to the church actions and what's Jesus to the church actions. I think that's what we was talking about.
Well, see, the church itself was founded on Jesus. Now they did have, it was considered the church that Jesus founded, but before that we had your tabernacles and your synagogues, which are, I would consider the same thing as a church. It was the house or the courtyard that people assembled to either do their worship or get a word from God, right? Or the high priest, the one who spoke or represented God in that sense. So before Jesus, you're looking at law and you're looking at trying to do things on your own merit, right?
Yeah,
And then come to find out, trying to do things on our own merit, we continuously fail. But it was based on mindset. So when Jesus comes, he tells us and he teaches that he didn't come to change anything, any laws that was already put out there. He's not saying, forget about everything that came before me. He's telling us that our mindset, based on our worldly desires and based on our self-knowledge, is wrong, based on how we're trying to follow these laws. And if we follow these laws in spirit instead of focusing on it in righteousness, that we will cover it. Because things of the spirit trump things of the world. So
yeah,
if the laws was made in the world, and he's coming with a spiritual mindset, in that walk and in the true character, which is the fruit of the spirit. And when we talk about the fruit of the spirit, we're talking about the Holy Spirit. We're talking about God's character, right? So Jesus,
yeah,
so Jesus came to basically represent God's character, God's walk, God's true intent for making these laws, the true mindset behind it. So in his walk, he did not even break these laws. In his walk, and that was a walk of love. At the end of the day, if we and that's the bottom line of it. If we truly walk in love, you will fulfill all the laws, and that's the only way to fulfill all the laws is to walk in love. So he didn't come to take it away. He just showed us how we can overcome it, how we can carry out all the laws with the right mindset.
I was looking at the different like the justifications by faith, uh like the difference with Paul and the Jesus, because I was looking at uh the resurrection, like uh like Jesus, he the kingdom of God. And Paul come like after his resurrection, uh, like the return of Christ, basically like teaching people how to return back to Christ more, because with the foreign time and then today's time, what do you consider with that faith of the justification of by the faith for this, like the Jesus way is the kingdom of God, but then you got, after resurrection, that's the return of Christ, because he always has come some people stray away from Christ, but then they come back to it. What can you say about that part of faith after the resurrection? Because it was different then. You see what I'm saying? Now from the Old Testament, the New Testament.
Well, we talk about this thing called the Holy Spirit that was cast down on to the world. It's sitting there if you accept it. If you accept it and you embrace it, then you grow in it. And that's all Paul did. He didn't believe in Christ until he actually had an encounter. And I think I've always said, I've had this encounter, and of course it don't exist to you, just like Paul. That's the whole concept. It didn't exist to Paul, and he believed that Jesus was just a mere man, just like any other man. He was smart, he was intelligent. Actually, Paul was a scholar. actually Paul knew scriptures and the scrolls at that particular time. He was a very knowledgeable person. Matter of fact, Paul was a Jew that was actually part of the Roman, I don't want to call it police, but the Centurion guard. You know, so he actually was chasing God because he thought chasing Jesus because he thought he was false. He thought he was a false prophet just like many, and he thought he was mere man just like any other man, based on his knowledge, until he actually had an experience with someone that's supposed to be already passed. And we hear the same story today. You know, that same principle stands today. There's people who say, well, this man is dead. You know, it no longer exists, and yet we still talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on something to come that ain't gonna never come. It came several times, you know what I'm saying? That the character thereof. But like I said, we talk about concepts and principles. So as far as this resurrection go, just like Paul had the same purpose as every other person after Christ. And that is to carry on the gospel. All right. And that's what Paul did. Paul carried on the teachings of Jesus, but not only the teachings of Jesus, but what the Spirit put on his heart in love, you know, and that's what he walked in. He also showed two things. In his walk, he still had a struggle. He had his identity that he was trying to downplay or suppress in order to be more Christ-like. And it was a struggle for him. He had a choice. Even in certain times in scripture, you'll see that Paul has been angry. Paul has been confrontational. Paul has even spoke about his shortcomings. Paul spoke about his thoughts and things that he wanted to do, but yet he didn't act on because he knew that, you know, that it wasn't Christ-like. So he tried to identify more and more with Christ and practice that walk, knowing that and appreciating the fact that through the Holy Spirit he could overcome some things. I think he says something that's so profound that it makes sense to all men when you really read it. He said, though I do the thing that I will not to do. How do we do the thing that we will not to do if we're so much in control of self?
Yeah. I'll read something like that now.
Yeah. It's in the book of Romans. I'm paraphrasing, of course. He says the thing he will not to do is the very thing that he do. Just like you say, I'm not gonna curse today, and yet you find yourself cursing all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I'm not gonna eat meat today, and yet you desire meat the whole time that you say you're not. The very thing that you say or declare you're not gonna do, the enemy comes just as hard or 3 times as hard on you in that particular area, and that's the test. That's the test. Your worthiness. That's
I'll ask you a question while we was on it right there, what you're saying, because it's a test. When you say a test, like which one you'll want to be more, give me your 2 definitions of an enforcer and a believer. Give me like as far as you believe in, do you want to be more believing or do you want to be a more enforcer? Like giving them 2 definitions of what you'll think about them and relate them to the Bible.
you can be a believer and yet not do. You can believe that Jesus exists and yet not follow. You can believe that God and yet not follow. You can believe in the devil, but don't play a part in. You know what I'm saying? So believing and having true understanding and action is 2 different things. I believe based on my own experiences, is that I'll just speak me. For me, once I truly understand something, it becomes automatic for me. I've been
Yeah.
I've been known as there was a God since I was a kid. Like I said, there's just certain things that's beyond me that I knew there was something greater. That was automatic. But did I always follow? Did I have a personal relationship with? Um, was it just a talk? Yeah, I believe because my daddy believed. You know, my daddy told me that's what it was, and that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And when I speak daddy, I mean my grandfather. And that's just the way we were just as kids. It's just like going to church. You went to church because your parents took you to church, and that's just what it was. You went to church. So you
Yeah.
believe as they believe. All right. You grew in the faith that you believed in the thing that they believed in until it was shown differently. Right?
Yeah.
So how about your personal relationship? See, because we can believe, and we can believe for so many different reasons. We can't believe. I mean, you can believe because you have experienced it. You can believe based on somebody else's experience. You can believe because you saw it in somebody else. You can believe because somebody told it to you. But have you personally experienced it for yourself, like Paul did? Paul believed because he experienced it, and nobody couldn't tell him nothing differently. See what I'm saying? Paul, Paul, Paul was a soldier, and this is how I relate to Paul. Um, Paul was a soldier before Jesus, right? And then,
Yeah.
but then after his experience with Jesus, you come to find that Paul was still that same soldier. Paul was bold. Paul didn't care. Paul, like I said, this man was writing letters to free people while he locked up, telling them what to do. Now that's a bold move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Write your letter and look. I'm telling you, man, I need y'all to listen to me. You know, y'all doing it wrong. I need to change some things up. Now I'm locked up, and I'm telling you, you need to change some things. You know what I'm saying? Because when I get out, I'm gonna come, and I want y'all to be in good standing. That's a bold move. You know what I'm saying? To have that type of power, you know, or that type of boldness about yourself. Um, to have a how can I say it? A faith that's so strong that gives you this reverence of royalty, you know, and yet you're in prison.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong, bro. You know that only comes that don't come just by believing. That comes with an understanding. It comes with an understanding that's profound that there's other people that won't normally get that the regular person or the normal person ain't gonna get. You know, it's a spiritual awakeness that you could see with eyes that surpass the normal eyes. You know, you could see deeper. So it's like Paul knew something that other people didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way he spoke. He was spirit led, but yet all the experiences that he had before Christ, he used them now for a different cause. That's it. It didn't change his uniqueness. It's just his reasoning changed. His perceptions changed. He's looking at things from a spiritual standpoint and was willing to bow down before that because we always bow down to something. We're always servants of something, believe it or not. And this is what he chooses to serve now. He denounced what he was regularly doing, and now he's under something new. But in that, it was a struggle. He had to adopt new ways. He had to practice new things. And he said, thank God for Jesus. All right. He didn't say thank Jesus my God. You know what I'm saying? He said thank God for Jesus, his son, who have died for my sins. So in other words, even after he experienced Jesus, he still fell short. You know, he still did things that he knew that wasn't in God's character or of the walk of Jesus. So that's another point I want to put out there. Just because you're a believer don't mean you ain't gonna make mistakes or you're not gonna lack. All right. is a difference between sinning and sinner.
Yeah.
Even Paul, when he fell short, he knew that in his own nature he was gonna fall short, that he couldn't do it. Like he said, I'm doing things that I tell myself I ain't gonna do, and yet I find myself doing it. He's like, dang, that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't have the control that I thought I had at the end of the day. So thank God for Jesus, who forgives me for that sin, and I don't have to dwell on it. I can move past this and continually try to practice this walk. You know, even though I failed, the next time I'm aware of what I did, and the next time I'm gonna try to catch it and do better. You know, instead of saying, "Oh, well, shoot, I messed up. It's over with. I might well keep doing it." You know what I'm saying? We can have that mindset. You know, well, I'm already there. You know what I'm saying? I might well gonna take it all away. You know, I'm going out with the bang. You know what I'm saying? If I go down, I'm going down. I'm going down hard. You know, and
Yeah.
we sometimes have that mindset. Instead of saying, "Look, I'm gonna keep my focus on Jesus." I slipped, and this shows how much I lack or how far I'm out of line. But my desire is to get closer. That has to be a spiritual move. See what I'm saying? That's something outside of yourself, desire that's within you, that's outside of you at the same time. Seeking something that's greater, that some can't see, but it's a feeling that you know that's there. And you're searching. That's your purpose now. You know, I
Yeah.
want to do better. I want to be a better person. I want to overcome my weaknesses. I know and accept that I'm weak in this area, and it's going to take something outside of me to fulfill me in this particular area. And Paul demonstrates that. Even in his strengths, even in the things that people feared about him, he even realized that there are certain things that he falls short on, you know. And he thanked God for revealing that to him through Jesus, you know. And he taught that to other people. And he just stood as that soldier for God. He is the true soldier coming behind Jesus for God. He carried on God's army.
Yes. I feel you on that though. A lot though. They do fall short sometime and just want to give up like that and don't stay, you know what I'm saying, on the task mission or just, hey man, you were doing good. Just keep doing good. Don't give up. You got this far and just give up all of a sudden and just take your eyes off what you really had it on. I feel you on that though for sure. I
Yeah,
had that experience a lot.
yeah, that's the trick of the enemy, man. That's exactly what he wants. He wants us to actually bow down to our shame. You know, do that thing that we can't talk about, the thing that we do in secret, is our weakness because we don't want it exposed. You know, but when you,
Yeah,
hey, I made the mistake. You know, I'm admit to it. You just took all the salt out of it. In other words, you just took all the power away to where you can move forward, and that's how we overcome by putting light on things. You know, not walking
yeah.
in, um, which is lacking. You know, we can fall to that shame. We can run and hide, and yet still do. No, but then there's some that's even bold enough to where they haven't experienced Christ or that walk or that talk, to where it ain't no shame to begin with because they don't have the knowledge of. You know,
Yeah,
they don't have the knowledge of, so it ain't no shame in it. But when you have the knowledge and you know better, and yet you don't do better, then you shamed in it. You're exposed, which goes back to Genesis. That goes back to the Garden of Eden. When you gain knowledge of something, the knowledge of right and wrong, and you do wrong, then you're ashamed for the wrongs that you do. That's what knowledge does to you. That's what
I
knowledge
understand.
does to you.
Do you think that plays a big part in sometime like when people like even when it comes to they Christ out there how they worship out there. You know what I'm saying? They worship more in the position where of how they pockets looking out there sometimes. You think that, because, you know, I used to even do that, like you said about the understanding out there. You have an understanding different out there over time when you finally just start giving God and more of your time out there. And that was, you know, a lot of people go to church think, oh man, I go to church today, something good is supposed to happen, but they don't apply that. You know what I mean? Now they just feeling like that's the way they live their life other than applying the action sometimes. Feel me?
Yeah.
It take action, work out there. How you discipline yourself from that standpoint of not just looking for something good, but just keeping action with it, even when something bad happens.
The same way that Paul did. As I said, you come to realize that there's certain things that you can't overcome in yourself. You find
Yeah,
your things that you have no control over, that you claim that you're not going to do, and yet you do it. And that's even just trying to be right, practicing righteousness. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be no drug or nothing bad. It's just the fact that you're trying to be good, and yet you
yeah,
find not able to be good. You know, you still doing bad things.
yeah,
So it's basically out of appreciation. You know, when you do overcome that thing, when you say, well, look, yeah, I admit that I'm weak in this area, so I got to give it to somebody. I give it to the Lord, and then it falls off of you.
yeah,
Once you give it up outside of yourself, when you let go of it, then it falls off of you. Then you know that it wasn't you who did it because you already admitted that you couldn't.
yeah,
So out of appreciation, like I said, when you really appreciate something, because there's some that God you call on God and He'll grant you or give you that grace, and yet we still don't appreciate it.
yeah,
It's selfishness, and we got some selfish people. But for those who appreciate it, you show that appreciation in an act. You know what I'm saying? You show that appreciation and gratitude, and that's all that I'm doing. And the gratitude is obeying. You know, not having a shame and standing up for the one who helped you out. You know, the one who stood by you, knowing and having an understanding uh, of who has the true power. You know, and there's no shame in that when you willing to stand by the one who has truly been loyal to you, and that's the street game. You know, loyalty is key, but who's been the most loyal to you? You know what I'm saying? And for me, God has. You know what I'm saying? God has been the most loyal to me. Reading the Bible has been loyal to me. You know what I'm saying? And I focus more on that relationship. You know, um, I just focus more on that relationship, man, because I appreciate. I know what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no man who got me through it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no woman who got me through it. If I could get personal for a minute, you know, there's things that not even my wife could help me with, you know, and I love her to death. And the fact that she couldn't help me or I wasn't willing to move a certain way based on me saying that I love her, it seemed like I didn't love her. You know what I'm saying? Because that love should have been powerful enough to stop me from doing what I was doing, right?
yeah,
Wrong. See what I'm saying? Because there's a greater love. See what I'm saying? So that love is what allowed me to actually give her the desires that she wanted, and then the ultimate desire that I wanted, and that was to serve God, to show Him appreciation for the things that He did bring me out of before. Because if He did it once, He'll do it again.
yeah,
Yeah, if He did it once, He'll do it again, man. And you know, the ultimate goal is to desire Him over all things, right? That's
Yeah.
God's desire. And I'm not talking Jesus, I'm talking God right now. God's true desire is for you to want him over all things. Right? I think we
Yeah.
all, I don't care what religion you is, I'm sure we all can agree that God wants us to serve him before serving anything else. And in that he will give you all those things that's under that. So the ultimate goal is to focus on him, and then him focusing on that, he knows your true desires. So why
Yeah.
are you trying to serve yourself? God's saying serve him, and he's gonna give you all them things that you're trying to get on your own. You know, that's the ultimate goal. That's what Jesus did. You know, despite of anything, he knew who God was. He had an understanding and what his goal was and what his purpose was. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. He knew what he had to do. He even said it. God, take this cup away from me. I,
Yeah.
I really don't want to do this. I know you say to do it. You know what I'm saying? I know I gotta die for these people, but take it away. Now, even though I don't want it, I'm still willing to do it. Because I love you. I appreciate you. I understand what my objective is. Right?
Yeah.
So not my will, but your will be done. So I'm going to do what you tell me to do. I'm going to be obedient to you because I love you. So true love is obedience. When you truly love a thing, that's what you follow. That's what you bow down to. That's what you humble yourself to. And that's in all aspects. The thing you love the most is the thing that you're willing to serve.
Yeah.
I will to serve God.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you something with that, and I'm gonna see the standpoint of like, cause we moving God's love out there, like you say, moving in God's love out there, and like um helping in God's love out there. You feel me now? Like sometimes, uh, do you think sometimes even in the community out there, how do you think even if people like gaming out there, running game on your line, or you to get help out of your anything for this, them coming to the church for help, will probably just got their food stamps and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like for this just uh like Christmas time, how people just double back on gifts or something, or for this just anything that a person will tell a lie to get, other than just telling the truth. Feel me?
Yeah.
Do you still move in love, still to help, or do you still feel like, oh, that nigga just gained me, or will that bring shame upon, oh, I'm gonna go out here and talk about them because they shame me and they use God to do it. Feel me now? What can you say about that moving in God's love sometime, and have they even helped the ones that lie to your face, the one that all that? What can you say about that? Because sometimes it be a circumstance with the community out there, or how they help people, and the whole time, same way they might help people out of their hard time, then the whole time they over there just to do that to live with a nigga, or they just do that to live with a female, or they just do that to do this and that. You feel me now? And then
Yeah.
you have to be stuck where, man, all that for God's love, and you doing it all over there behind his back. Because, like I say, God see everything. What can you say about that sometimes? Moving in God's love and being lied to your face sometimes. I just want to hear that from a real Trill well, how people moving God's love and how they look at that sometimes.
You're allowed the burden to be on the other person.
I feel
At
you.
the end of the day, you want the burden to be on the person. I can know somebody lying to me, right?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna still give you because
Yeah.
in your mind you think you getting over, but the truth is you basically killing yourself. You actually burning your bridge because you're looking at
Yeah.
it in the long term. This little that you just got, if you was to stand true, this little could be a lot. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You looking at the one time fix. and saying, "Ha ha, I got over." But the true get over is to keep me by your side. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The the true get over is to stand with me, because what you got today, you can get tomorrow, the next day, and the next day after that. But if you cross me and you trespassed against me, you saying, "Oh, that sucker, I just got over on him." Truth is, you
Yeah.
really got over on yourself, because the burden lies with you. God knows your true intent.
Yeah.
It's not me. I still got peace. I'm still moving on. I still got more that I can give. I'm just
Yeah.
not you. See what I'm saying? Somebody
Yeah.
else, I give it to them.
Yeah.
So it didn't hinder me. Now, if you claim that you're doing something in God's love and it hinders you, are you truly doing God's love? No, because
Would that make you want to talk about it? Because you got handled or something. Or you got how you feel about that? If you both moving God's love, right? You doing something out the heart, right? What you think about this sometimes, or how you handled it, even when you know you're going through them type of thing.
bro, if I'm really moving in God's love at the end of the day, bro, I'm gonna be at
It'll be the same tomorrow, the same next day, the
I'm,
same
I'm,
next day.
I'm gonna be at peace regardless. At the end, as
I
long as
got
that's how you know you're moving in God's love, because you're at peace with your decision, and that comes with a certain discernment. Now, there's times I can give somebody something, and that same person come to me the next day, and I'll be like, "Nah, dog,
you. Yeah.
I gave it to you yesterday." And then, secondly, what did you change when I give you whatever I'm gonna give you? What changed to where I don't have to give it to you tomorrow?
Yeah.
So, what's the point of me giving you something if nothing changed? If you're back in the same situation again, I'll be a fool to keep giving you, and yet you're back in the same situation. But I can also give you as long as it doesn't hinder me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my true intent, the fact that I know, I don't have to expose the fact that I know, because I'm the one living in truth. Because I know you're the one
Yeah.
living in falsehood, because you're perpetrating to be something that you're truly not.
Yeah.
So the burden lies on you. The burden don't lie on me. I'm at peace with my decision of giving. Are you at your peace? Are you at peace with your decision in lying?
Yeah.
Are you at peace with your decision in being falsified? You know what I'm saying? Are these things going to come back at you? I'm still living life. I'm still going on. You did not hinder me at all. But you just took your last and did whatever that you could ever get from me.
Yeah.
You got to answer for that, not me. I'm good.
You think that's the problem with the community these days on how people like come together to group sometime and just help the community out? Because we have that what I'm saying, should have that safety guard in the black community anyway. You feel me? For this having somewhere where it don't hinder or hurt or nobody that helps the black community out sometime. We always have to, you know what I'm saying, rely on it in the white community more than our own hood sometimes, our own black communities out there. We think about that hindering part sometimes because, like I say, moving in God's love a lot sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And people be just needing that safety guard sometimes just to know, is it from the heart or is just, what I'm saying, something to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're doing out the heart. It ain't nothing to talk about. You feel me? But
Well,
we think about that though, on how the community can come have a better focus at that
I
for us have.
I can't speak on somebody else. I can only speak on my reasoning, and I think everybody's intent will be exposed. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing things in God's name, even though the Bible tells us that people are gonna do things in His name and don't even know Him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You just speak in His name. The fruit, how can I put it? The fruit will manifest itself. If you
yeah,
got the right only good thing is gonna come of it. You know what I'm saying? The fruit of God is gonna be there. You know, you're gonna see certain productivity. But if a person is doing a thing and there's no production in it, there's nothing good that manifested itself out of, then the intent wasn't there. You know, there was no God in it. You know what I'm saying? And it eventually is gonna fall. It'll be exposed. Now,
Yeah.
there are some bad apples and a good thing, and unfortunately, it takes the salt out of it. But the intent, I can't tell you what the next person's intent is, you know, and until it's actually revealed to me, God tells me, you know. And then there's certain things that needs to be exposed. That's why we're supposed to sharpen each other. You know, if I
Yeah.
trust me, if I know a brother is doing something that they shouldn't be doing, I'm gonna coach them in it, you know what I'm saying? And I want them to do the same to me, you know, and hopefully they see themselves. But if they don't, I remove myself. You know, it don't have nothing to do with me. I'm still gonna carry on the agenda. The objective still is gonna be done. So even in that, I'm about to flip the script. Are
Yeah.
are we watching to see if a person being fake or not? Because while we're watching them to see their fakeness, what are we doing in the process?
Yeah. I felt that.
Where's our focus? You know what I'm saying? And if you're watching this person trying to figure out their intent, that means that you're not doing. Because
Yeah.
so you just as bad as that person when you're trying to figure out their intent when you should be doing it based on your intent. So that's the
Yeah.
bigger part of that. You know, let's put the focus on that. While you're watching, my question is to you, why you not doing?
Yeah.
Why you ain't showing the real way? If this is fake or this person's intent is not right, why don't you show the true intent of how it's supposed to be done?
Yeah.
Why not improvise instead of criticize?
Feel you on that.
You know, I really don't care. You know, in the sense of like, I mean, I'm sure there's people who say that I do things for show, but that's my platform for me to get out God. It's not even about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing the change and the likeness of Christ at the end of the day. And if this is the platform to do it, be it here or someone else, I'm trying to identify with God. I done told people that on the street, man. You know, it ain't even about me. It's about God and my appreciation for that. It ain't about a show for me. It's about providing people with options. If that be entertainment, that you're being entertained with something that is good, inspirational, if it's just for an hour. You done got outside of your domain. You didn't escape the environment that you was in before. You know, I gave you some sense of comfort and peace just for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something that when you leave, you don't have to regret. You know, you've been entertained in a way that has no repercussions. You know, and it's an option because you can be entertained and fellowship with me or us in a sense, or you can go with your homeboys and be entertained and leave with a regret. You know what I'm saying? So we provide those options. We're showing people that there's another way to be entertained. There's another way that you can move or fellowship with people that don't come with a repercussion. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a message in it. And I don't want to. Let me put this out there because it's taking me somewhere. I'm not here to impose on somebody else's desires. You know, I'm not here to change nobody or make somebody or force somebody to be good. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I am I'm here for those who desire to be good, to have like-minded people, to be around like-minded people. I don't want any one person who desires something, but their environment, they're trapped within their environment. I want to provide a means of escape. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal. My goal ain't to go into darkness and try to change darkness, because there is no light without darkness. In other words, there's people that decide this is the life that they want to live. Them not the ones I'm going for. I'm just like, salute, handle your business. Just don't interfere on this side. See what I'm saying? Stay on your side. Deal with the people who's dealing like you. See what I'm saying? Why
Yeah.
if you causing chaos, don't cause chaos with people who don't desire chaos. See, and that's what we need to stand for. We stand for the ones who desire what we desire. If you don't desire, then move around.
Yeah.
I do. Don't mess with us. And that's what it is. It's about the territory. Don't allow darkness to stand in light. And if it does, you push it back into the darkness. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. That's why I call it God's game. We got territory too. You know what I'm saying? So I just put it in that perspective. Respect where we at. We respect where you at. I'm not trying to force something. I'm not trying to go in somebody else's domain and tell them that they got to be right. No, this is the domain of darkness. I'm gonna stay out of your space. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect where you at. I'm not gonna come over here preaching when you don't want to be preached to.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't even do that. He was there for the ones who desired it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He went to a territory. He knew when he wasn't wanted. He brushed his feet off. He walked away. No hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? I came to give you an option.
Yeah.
I ain't making nothing. So that I wanted to make sure that I put that out there. It ain't my intent to overrun something. It's my intent to provide an option and a means of escape, even if it's just for a little while.
What can you say about man of purpose out there? I was thinking about that too. Give an understanding to people out there that want to know more about man of purpose. What's the understanding with it, and what kind of program it is? Because
And
we be needing that sometimes.
man, men of purpose, bro. It's just that it's different men who are at different points in their understanding and their spiritual growth, man. Who's trying to seek more, who's trying to be a better man, or even try to fellowship with something that they desire or want to be a part of, that they see in somebody else. We build off each other, and in building off of each other, we feel like we owe a debt to our community or to society as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But each of us are on different levels in that. You know what I'm saying? So just because you see one way don't mean that the other is there yet. None of us have arrived. So if you're looking for excellence, that's not men of purpose. But we're striving for better as a whole. It's a fellowship that want to serve of servants. It ain't no holier than thou. It just so happened that we have some that are holy. You know what I'm saying? It's how you define yourself as a man. If you see something in a person, or a person move you a certain way that you feel like this is something that you want to be a part of or serve in, then that's what men of purpose is for. We're here to serve the purposes of the community. As I said, to provide options. And that comes on so many levels. It can be a concert. Some people might say a concert ain't gonna change nothing. We ain't trying to change nothing. We provide an option. During that concert, that's an hour or two where there's no chaos, where you can free your mind, where you don't have to focus on your environment, where you can leave where you at and get a sense of peace. And you might want you might get a certain sense of peace or hear something that you could take back with you that you want more of. You know what I'm saying? So it provides an opportunity. Bottom line, right there. Thank you, Lord. It provides an opportunity. And what you make of that opportunity is on you. But it was there. You see what I'm saying? It shows you a different side of life that you probably wouldn't necessarily participate in. It allows you the opportunity to talk to people that you wouldn't normally talk to. See what I'm saying? It provides so many different options, and it has so many different elements to it, bro, that if you just simple-minded and you just looking at what's on the surface, you'd have missed it. You'd have missed it. It's a mystery. Men of Purpose is a mystery.
Yeah.
It's just options. That's all it is options. You know?
Hey, while we on that option part, I'm gonna give you something I was going to say with that. Okay, you know, like a lot of people in like small areas or smaller communities, more country towns, though, you know, they more probably know the same people, go to the same church with, probably have the same Facebook friends, probably even know same people, each other relatives and all, let them say. But what I was saying with that is for this, like that purpose right there, is the mystery. Everybody looking for, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on different levels with their faith, what they want to know more. But then you also got that community standpoint where the man of purpose, then you got to look at the Stop the Violence movement or Stop the Violence. and you have where, you know, is the stopping the violence a man of purpose or any organization in that situation? Is their job to do the police job out there to go try to train the youngsters out there, or that's the police job out there? Because they always say, us as a community, we don't stand up, and we on different levels out there on how, if it ain't our business, we don't care about it. You feel me? But we serving the man of purpose in for just a spiritual way or a faith base or you know what I'm saying, a safe base based on versus the streets out there. Who you in your experience out there? What can you say about that? For to do the job, police do their job enough, or the community don't step up as a whole to keep the violence down with the youngsters out there? What can you say about this sometime? Who be with that purpose? Is the police job or is the community stepping up as a whole sometime?
It's the whole, bro. It's the whole. And if you don't have a hole, then there's a crack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's not whole, then it's not complete, right? That's what whole mean, complete. So it has to be the whole, or it's not going to be complete. We got to bring, if we're talking about a child, we take this on, and everything that's on this side got to eventually come and connect to this other side.
Yeah.
There's going to be a crack somewhere where things can slip through. So it has to be the whole in order to make the infrastructure solid. We can't hold a child accountable if the infrastructure is broken before that. See what I'm saying? So the accountability is based on all of us. It's all of our duty to put forth an effort. So once again, we can only, as men of purpose, we can only play our part. See what I'm saying? And there's so many parts to be playing. You have to decide what part you play in. You know what I'm saying? You could sit there and play the part of once I said spectator, but spectating ain't gonna get the job done. Do something.
Yeah.
You know, do something. If you're in the community, you should be doing something. As I said, we're providing a opportunity of escape. And that's our mission, to even allow the kids to come out the neighborhood to have a safe environment to play in and have a good time with their parents or whatever the situation may be, for an hour or two, to take your mind off your problems for a little while, you know, possibly educate someone with some information that they didn't have before. And that information can come from any platform. I was talking to somebody earlier today. Yeah, I had a meeting with somebody earlier today, and we were talking about the same question that you asked: what men of purpose is about. And I told them there's one thing that we do that some people don't even catch, because everything we do is subliminal. It has a message in it, and all our events are open platforms. Some people overlook that. Everything that we have is an open platform, meaning that any and everybody can play a part.
Yeah.
And yet they don't. So even in the people that you see, it also exposes the ones that you don't see, which holds them accountable, because the invitation was there. When we talk community, that means all. So we invite all to participate, because the community is what makes our events. We don't. It ain't even about us. It ain't about men of purpose. It's about the community. So if it's successful, it's because the community was successful, not men of purpose. If it's grandiose, it's because the people showed up, not men of purpose. Men of purpose is only 17 guys. So if it's more than 17, that means somebody else showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the bigger picture. And that's what we challenge everybody to do. All these organizations, these churches, these people who play the blame game or whatever the situation may be, we provide an open platform for everybody to participate. This is your opportunity to come to one place, not 20 different small places, not 20 individual places, but everybody to come together, remove the titles and the names, and that's function as a unit, that's function as a family. We provide that platform, and yet they don't take the opportunity. It was an option. It was an option. It was an opportunity to do something different. It was a moment to provide fellowship. It was a moment to bring awareness to whatever cause that you have. This is a time that you could take the mic and speak your truth. It ain't about men of purpose truth. It's about the truth of the community. I mean, your message is your message. If people take you into it, they take you into it. If they don't, they don't. But we provided you the opportunity. See what I'm saying? Some people are gonna take it, some people ain't. And to be truth be told, most don't. Most don't. And I'm talking from politicians down to the schools, from the schools down to the churches, from the churches down to the parents, then the kids. We put it out there, bro. Everybody invited. So if it fails, it ain't men of purpose who fail. It's the community. The fact that somebody brought up the fact that we pay outside people to come in. Why? Because we gave an open platform. And if you don't show up, then we'll find somebody that will. People want to be entertained. Sometimes it takes somebody from outside to tell you about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what has to be done, if that's the gimmick, then so be it. That's what we'll do. If you want us to bring in a highlighter, we're gonna bring in a highlight. If you need a feature, we're gonna bring in a feature. If that's the gimmick to get you to come out, then so be it. But in the that's gonna be the last thing. The feature gonna be the last thing, because we're gonna give you what we need to give you first. You're gonna get some excitement. You're gonna get a word. You're gonna get some awareness about what's going on. You're gonna get a different understanding. Yeah, you're gonna socialize with some people that you don't normally be around. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity is gonna be there, and then you're gonna be entertained in the process, and you're gonna be fed. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna leave. You're gonna leave with something more than what you came with, one way or another. Now, what you do with it is up to you. So there's always a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture.
That's what's up, man. I was just going on that, man, getting insight on that. A lot of people might want to join that, man. Come get a better understanding of the word out there, and you know what I'm saying? Learn how to deal with people, you know what I'm saying, on some sober tip stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably why we can't say about this sometimes. People come who they are, or do they have to be sober, or what? Because you know that be the ridership sometimes. People want to do their church online where they got to be judged. What can you say about that? You'll come as you are.
Man, you definitely come as you are because it's public. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come as you are. There's usually no police at our events because we police our own events. But the police is invited. They're
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pay for something that we could do ourselves. We should be able to govern ourselves. You know.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect that I say that people don't really grasp. The fact that there's no police involvement in our events. That ain't no
Yeah.
brag. That's just the way that it happens. You know, and that's a move of God. Because there's so many events that either somebody gonna get shot or something gonna pop off or there's a fight that break out. We didn't have one incident where we didn't have two incidents where a fight was about to start and it was broke up before it started, and that was with some children, and we exposed it because we let them know it's their fault. The ones that's older than them should have been the ones, instead of sitting there being spectators watching it, they should have been the ones who stopped it. So we expose it. We talking to you in front of hundreds, thousands of people. You should have been the one who stopped this. This shouldn't have been happening. And we ain't about to allow it to ruin everybody else's day. So you can leave, go back to the darkness, because we're not about to have this darkness in our light. Or you can sit here and enjoy yourself and have a good time. Your choice.
You think that would play a lot in people that want to come out sometime and have fun? They don't think that it's security enough to where we can govern ourselves out there other than have the police there just to feel safe? Because I know a lot of people probably want to come out sometime and that be their biggest problem. Don't know how we govern ourselves out there other than having security there just to have us civilized. You know what I'm
The
saying?
whole point, if bro, watch this. If you got 1,000 people having a good time, and you allow one or two people to destroy thousands, then it's y'all fault. It's
Yeah.
it's y'all fault. It's our fault. It's 1,000 to 2. Be it with a gun or not. It's 1,000 to 2.
Yeah.
Who should be winning this battle? Feel me? It don't.
I think we should, other than worried about who trying to sneak in one to feel safe. Don't come if you don't feel safe. I feel that way.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Don't feel safe. My is you should be safe. You know what you
Yeah.
come for. If it's a movement of empowerment, then there's people who's coming out here to be empowered. Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
enemy knows this. So are you gonna allow somebody to take your peace away from you? Or are you gonna scatter and run and allow this one or two characters to overtake this whole situation to change the narrative? No,
I've
we're not.
seen it happen so many times around now.
That's true. It happens. It happens. But Let's just be real about it. That's why I'm speaking about it now. Once again, shining light and bringing forth awareness, holding people accountable. It's 1,000 to 2, and nobody does nothing. Everybody scatters and run. What happens if that 998 turn on the 2? What happens then?
Wouldn't be nobody but them.
And that's what we have to do. We have to stand as a force against things that goes against the agenda of the narrative of the whole. Honestly, we have more good people here in El Dorado than we have bad or evil or criminal element. And if those good will stand together instead of being divided, it'll move out of all of that. People know their place. They'll know where they can move and where they can't move. It wouldn't be mayhem throughout El Dorado. It'd be like, look, we're going to do our dirt over here. We're going to leave them people alone because we don't want to draw no attention to us. As it should be. The dark needs to stay in the dark.
Yeah.
No way no one or two people should be causing havoc within the whole community. We allow it. It's our fault because we stand for nothing. We stand for nothing.
Yeah.
You want to be entertained, we provide entertainment. But if it's an event that says men of purpose, we're going to hold everybody accountable who comes. All right? And yes, we'll be the police because it's our event. So that's basically you're disrespecting us if you're changing the narrative. You're disrespecting us if you come and don't conduct yourself accordingly. You know what this is supposed to.
Yeah.
You need to be removed. All right? And the people who are coming to enjoy themselves need to actually stand as a force to remove the element that's causing them chaos, who's disturbing their peace. It only makes sense. And yet we don't. We allow people to disturb our peace. We allow people to disturb our peace. A gunshot go off, but nobody knows what goes on. We'll allow people to disturb our peace. If you're in a community to where you're seeing this happen and you don't say nothing, it's your fault. You're allowing somebody to disturb your peace. Oh, my children can't even go outside. Gunshots going off all through the night when I look out my window. Did you see anything? No.
So yeah.
We need help over here. Are you helping yourself? No.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my son. What does daddy say? I don't know. He's not here. Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll call another man to help you with your son.
That shouldn't be something right there. In small towns anyway, well, it's been that way forever though. They respect the people that stand for this sometimes they help more than the dad. You know what I'm saying? Be
And
like, man.
that's the accountability I'm talking about, man. Those are things that have to be exposed. Those are things that have to be brought awareness to. And hold these people accountable. Call them out. Say what it is. Mamas who want these gangsters. Okay, these gangsters come, they in and out of your lives. I mean, I'm not bashing women or nothing like that because I honestly blame men over women any day. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be the ones that's responsible to God. You know, based on Bible, we're the ones that's responsible to God, and woman under us next as that. Not less than man, but equal to man. But for his responsibility in the chain, is man next to God. We're the ones held responsible. We're the ones who are out of place. So we're the ones who have to change this thing. You spoke about Trump. You spoke about
Yeah.
Trump changing it to a man and a woman. Despite what you think about Trump or what we may think about Trump, there's a lot of things that Trump speak that make sense. There's a lot of things that Trump is doing that should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, he really just put stuff in perspective, but I think a lot of stuff is really just caught up in the old ways, and only thing we missing is money, really, as a country as a whole. And I feel like it's still gonna be the same problems. You know what I'm saying? Just different bracket, tax bracket, different people in power. That's how I look at it.
That's true. And watch this. Have the question we have to ask ourselves: have we done anything to stop it? What have we done anything knowing what's happening? Are we in any position to do anything about it?
No, we
So
still looking for a way.
we're still looking for a way. So it's your fault if you haven't positioned yourself, because this been coming for a long time. You know what I'm saying? This has been happening for lifetime, for generations. It shows throughout the Bible, bro. How people from the beginning who were close to God suddenly got further, each generation after got further and further away from God after God had saved them or brought them out of something. And I'm talking about as a whole. I'm talking about as a nation. I'm talking about nations, right?
Yeah,
Where God then brought nations or a people or a culture out of something, and over a period of time they forget about them,
quick.
and then they fall back into captivity. They become slaves to something again, and then they're crying out to God when they're in bondage, and He comes and saves them again, or He brings forth a Savior, and then they're praising Him. Then over a period of time they forget about Him again, and they fall back into the same thing they just left out of maybe 100 years ago. All right, and then He saves them again. They run back to Him, and they praise Him. Then after a while they fall back off again. They forget all about Him. Bro, at the end of the day, when we take God out of the situation, we doom ourselves. And that's what us as a country have done. Trump did, if you believe in it or not, he's bringing back the foundation. Excuse me. You don't have to like him, but he sees something that a lot of people don't see. That we've lost our way as a whole, in general. We've lost our way. And we have to get back to the fundamental roots of things in order to rebuild. Make men men, woman woman. I don't care what you call yourself. At the end of the day, anatomy is anatomy. Even if you cut it off, you're still a man. You can't
Yeah,
so you're still a man. If you can reproduce, you're a woman. You could
yeah,
chop it off, you could sew it up, you could do whatever you want. It's still what it is. You could change the name of it. It's still what it is. You could change. You could dress a butthole. Does it make it anything less than a butthole? You
mm-mm.
see, what still a butthole. So
Yeah,
so he's just getting back to the fundamental of things. All right. At the end of the day, um, I'm gonna say this: I don't have nothing against against homosexuality. I'm not a phobic against it. I don't believe in it, and it ain't for me. Now, with the concept of this, putting it in the right perspective, I love all people. I dislike sin. All right. In other words, I dislike the act of, but I love the person. And if I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you that it's a sin. See what I'm saying? Now, am I bashing you? No. But at the end of the day, if everybody believed as a person who performs those type of acts, we would cease to exist. Do you realize that? If every man became a lover of men and every woman became a lover of women, the human race will cease to exist. That's the reality. It's
Yeah.
not, we cannot even reproduce. That's why this is a big issue. This is why a lot of people talk about that particular subject, because at the end of the day, you are, when you really think about it, you are intentionally destroying the human race. Now, this removes religion. This removes Godhead. This is just law of nature. Think about it like that.
Yeah.
Because of your selfishness, I choose to not be what God made me. Or I was just born this way. No, you was born with a certain thing, so that's what it is. Or you could choose not to do anything at all. That's another option, right?
Yeah.
That's another option, to choose not to do nothing. I like a man. Do I have to be with one? I ain't saying me. I'm just saying in general. Or a woman, like, do you have to be with one? No, you could choose to be with neither because it's unnatural.
What do you think about that? This is our last one. Get out of here. What do you think about the penny? Them removing the penny out there, taking the penny away forever. Think it's gonna change the economy, or just a piece of paper, a penny that people don't pay attention to? Copper, or they use it, getting rid of copper. What you think about that? Them
I
getting
don't.
rid of the penny.
I don't. I honestly think that the penny would be manufactured. The copper would be manufactured into something else. They're gonna recycle that. Before it's a penny, it carries. Why not move up to the increments of 5? If we remove the penny, then we have to increase the increment, right? So the
Yeah,
value of 5 becomes that penny. The value of the dime becomes that nickel. So it goes backwards. The value of the dollar goes down. That's how removing the penny it affects the economy. Everything goes down. Everything has less value when you
because
really
it's
think.
basically what's going on with
That's
it.
no. Everything is going to have less value here in America, which means that the value is going to increase in other parts of the world. Remember, our money has been longer in every part of the world except Europe. Europe has finally caught up with us. So if we remove the penny, be mindful that Trump is a businessman. He has businesses all over the world, more so in European countries. If the euro is higher than the dollar and his business is popping in Europe, all he's doing is increasing his lineage. His,
Yeah,
I can only respect it. See what I'm saying?
yeah,
I can only respect it. I can't trip, just like he said about his taxes. The people said he wasn't going to show his taxes. I said, well, what, you got something to hide? He said, no. He told you straight to your face. It's because I'm smart. I'm not showing
Yeah.
my taxes because I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
And so he telling us to our face what he's about. Trump is a money man. So you can either get with it, learn the game, or get lost.
Yeah.
That's all it is too.
That's what's up, man. Renz Tee, man. Man, for real, man. We'll tune in next week, man, for sure. I'm gonna try to get everything on her, man. We might go off YouTube next time, man. I'm gonna try that out and see can I try it out. I know I can, but we might try that out and bring everybody over there too, see what we can do over there. Cause I think it run a little longer.
Okay.
But man, now talking to you, man, all time, man. Salute you out there. I'm glad we brought that up at the end. You brought that down too. About the penny too, for sure. But man, you want to tune in, man. Any way they can reach Man of Purpose out there, website, number out there. Anybody want to get involved with them? Drop that before we get up out of here.
Yeah, everybody know my phone number. My phone number is public. It's on my Facebook page, Renz Tee. My phone number is also on the Lorenzo Lawson, Jans Realties .net website. Lorenzo Lawson Realtors page that I have on Facebook. Arkansas MOP, South Arkansas MOP. That's the Men of Purpose page. Of course, Kendall Dykes, he definitely represents Men of Purpose. You can reach out to him. And I'll go ahead and put my number out there, 832-817-4880. Or even if you see me in the community. We're really doing some big things this year in collaboration with a lot of organizations that most people just don't deal with. We're doing some things with the Sheriff Foundation, United Way, some of the churches, other areas, Smackover, Camden. I really believe this is going to be a big year in collaboration and unity, fellowshipping, and joining forces with different organizations, other organizations. So things are picking up, man. We got 4 major events going this year. On the 1st, I don't know if you know about it yet, it's on Facebook. We having the Smash Burger King versus Renz Tee's Taste the Kitchen coming up on the 1st at Walmart. And the battle is on at Walmart parking lot. Y'all don't want to miss that one, man. On some good eating, for a low price, cheap price. It's all going towards the things that we want to do in the community, man. Like I said, we willing to show our hand before just extending our hand to just opening our palms, asking somebody else for something. We'll do it ourselves. It's gonna get done one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at. That's gonna be our first kickoff event for this year. Is the Men of Purpose fundraiser at Walmart on March 1st.
March the 1st.
March 1st.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Hey, send me that flyer, man. You know I promoted for you on trip. I'm gonna keep it going.
I
You
got
said
you.
March the
Yeah.
1st. If people still can get in it, or is they already got the cook set what it is?
It's once again it's Renz Tee's versus Smash Burger King. So we're gonna have some, like your seafood ball. We're gonna have some fish plates. We're gonna be having some of course your burgers, your smash burgers. We're gonna have some seasoned wings, French fries, and all those type of things, man. It's gonna be. We're asking for donations. Anybody who want to participate by providing cakes or anything like that, like the side dishes. We're accepting everything. We don't turn nothing down, man. We're gonna put it to use. If it don't necessarily have to be monetary to support. It could be things that that we're willing to sell to raise funds. You know what I'm saying? We'll put it to work. You know what I'm saying? Cups. We need dishes. You might have some plates or something. It doesn't matter. Just be a part. It's your opportunity to be a part, or just be available at the end of the day. Come out, be available. If you want to be a servant, ask how you can get in. Get in where you fit in that day. You know what I'm saying? Or better yet, you can participate by buying a plate.
Yeah.
Go. So, you know, look forward to seeing y'all. I'm excited, man. I'm coming out of retirement for this one.
That's what's up. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna eat some for real.
All right.
I had them right day too.
Yes,
For real.
yes, sir.
Man, you take care, man. Salute, man. This South Arkansas Trill Talk, man. Tune in on Renz Tee out there, man. Take care. Tune in on Wednesdays out there. Much love to everybody. Tune in out there. One, man.